So for today's coach's corner, I wanted to talk about good, great, and elite. So what makes some players good? What makes other players great? And what makes those very top percent people elite? So what separates players? Natural talent. Natural talent is should be a given. Some players are just born with it. You get them onto a green and they just start bowling. They do great stuff. They pick up on bias quickly. They pick up on weight quickly. They pick up on everything that you're spitting out to them just naturally. There's a lot of players that just have that natural talent, and natural talent will give you a huge step up on everybody else. But like I have on the slide here, it's an accelerant, right? So instead of a normal player going step by step by step, the natural talent kind of starts, gets that jump ahead, but you still need to work at it to get better and better and better. Work ethic. To be going from good to great and great to elite, you need work ethic. There's a big jump in work ethic between a good player and a great player, and then a great player and an elite player. Now, I can take some great players and see them do really, really well, even play internationally, even play at high level tournaments and win. But I wouldn't necessarily say they're elite. The elite players are the ones that can play, and most of the time, they are going to win. They may lose. Everybody wins sometimes, everybody loses sometimes. That's not a big deal. The big deal is, can they do it consistently? So I'll take, let's throw the best Canadian bowler out there, Ryan Bester. If I'm seeing him play in an event, a lot of people are going to say he has a great chance of winning. And that's because he can do it over and over and over again. He can get into the top three. He can get into and win the top one over and over and over and over again. It doesn't mean that he wins the Australian Open once and they never hear from him again, or you win a Canadian title once or twice and you never see them in anything else again. Okay, that's a great player. It's not an elite player. So the work ethic, the drive to be successful, how hard are you willing to work on your game? Attention to detail. Do you pick up on all the stuff that's going on out there? Are you able to see, here's the percentage play when this might be the easier play? So can I see the differences in all the angles of the bowls? Do I know what shot I should be playing versus which one is the easiest one to play? Because the easiest shot to play might not necessarily get you the results that you absolutely want, or the one that you need to win. Can you see the angles? Can you make the adjustments? Do you understand the green, whether it's tricky or good? Can you understand the changes in the dynamic of the environment that you're playing in? Can you adjust? Can you adapt? All that kind of stuff. Do you work on the macro? I'm going to work on my delivery today. Or are you going to work on balance and step and release and make sure that all those things are working in tune with each other to make a really, really solid game, right? And can you see the game from just that higher level than everybody else and understand that you're playing at another level? They're playing checkers, you're playing chess, right? Mental sharpness, okay? Can you process the information quickly? You don't necessarily have a lot of time to make your decisions, and sometimes you can overthink. Can you process everything up here and make those adjustments and understand what needs to be done without having to sit there and stare at the head for an hour, talk about stuff, go down to the end and then walk back up, go down to the end and talk to your vice again and say, hey, whoa, who was shot again? Or, what was back there? You should know everything and be able to process it very, very quickly. Resilience. Can you bounce back? You make a crappy shot and give up 4. Can you bounce back? Do you just ride high and ride low? Or can you maintain that balance right in between where you're not overexcited and getting too far ahead of yourself and you're not really low and getting in the dumps and never being able to recover, right? And if you do happen to hit that dip, can you get yourself back out? And communication. Some people struggle a lot with this. Can you communicate effectively with the players and the coaches and the officials and everybody that's around? Can you make your points? Can you get your thoughts and your game plan across to people so that they understand? Can you communicate? Are you able to say stuff so that other people can process it? Do you understand how to communicate with other people? Is there someone that if you tell them, well, that was a terrible shot, and they just go right into the dumps and never play another good bowl, is that an effective way of communicating with them? Do you understand how to do it with your players, whether you're a lead or a vice or a skip, or even someone just outside the game helping them? Can you communicate? And what separates coaches? So I talked a little bit about the player side, which is important, but the coaching side is important as well. And in Coach's Corner, I like to deal with both. So what makes a good coach a great coach and an elite coach? Again, it comes down to communication. Do you understand how to talk to your players? Do you understand how to talk to the parents, the other coaches, the officials that are there just in case there is a dispute? Can you get your point across without getting emotionally involved into it and throwing your emotions just all over the place? Can you ride that medium and just maintain that cool, calm, collected composure for your players so that they know you are strong, you're there for them, and you're going to help them? Can you get your information across? If there's something wrong with our game plan, can you help them adjust? Communication is huge. Every player that I communicate with needs something different. If I'm talking to, let's just say, a Jackie Foster in Nova Scotia versus a Cam in Nova Scotia, they're the same province, they play with each other, but they both need very, very different things. And it can be quite difficult to differentiate between the two. Work ethic. Again, are you willing to work just as hard as the players to put together a program, give the information, be out there with them when they need you? If they call on you and say, coach, I'm just having some problems with this, are you there to help them? Or are you going to say, not a good time, sorry, and put them off for a while just because you don't feel like it? The work ethic is very, very big for both players and coaches. Attention to detail. You'll notice how a lot of these things sway back and forth. You need to have attention to detail. You need to be on the sidelines paying attention to that game if they're playing, or you need to be at that training session paying attention to what they're doing and how they're doing it. Making notes if you need to. If you can't remember everything that they're doing or can't remember the scores, make notes in a notebook. Make sure you're there for them. If they don't understand what's going wrong, you can tell them, hey, forehand side is working beautifully. The backhand side, you're playing poorly. Stick to the forehand as much as possible. Play short, play long. This is where the wind's coming from. This is where the opposition's playing from. If you can manage all those things together as a coach, it's amazing what you can do for your players. Empathy. Gotta have empathy. I've had a lot of talks where players have cried. I've had a lot of talks where players have been emotional, devastated by their losses, elated by their wins. Whether it's good emotions, bad emotions, something in between, can you deal with that stuff? Are you able to deal with other people's emotions? And if they get really out of hand, whether it's anger or sadness or disappointment or whatever it is, do you have the tools and ability to help them get themselves out of that state and back to where they need to be? Very, very, very difficult skill to have as a coach or as anybody. It's an amazing skill to have, and once you master it, is beautiful. And again, resilience. You can be berated by players, by officials, by parents, by spectators that are there. You can hear how your coaching was crap, how your coaching was not good. You did the wrong thing. You told them the wrong thing. You make mistakes as a coach. I've told players shots that I thought that they should play based on their feedback on what they thought. It was probably not the right idea. It takes some getting used to and some training and some understanding about it. But can you be resilient and say, what, I made a mistake, I'll learn from it, and I will continue to move on. So there's levels of players. There's good players, practice without no real. And I'm breaking this up into generalizations. It's not very true because you do progress, and players that have that elite mindset can progress from good to great to elite and do that kind of thing. You can also regress if you slip on some of these things. So good players practice with no real plan, spend more time in games than training. You're just playing, you're not training. You're going to just be as good as you'll ever be, natural talent maybe, and that's as good as you'll ever be. You focus on the wins rather than overall improvement. Hey, I got 3 wins in a row. Does that really matter in the grand scheme of things? What's your long-term goal? What are you reaching for? Do you have to have a record of 10 wins in a row, or does the championship mean more? No process to follow. Maybe they don't have a coach, usually don't get coaching, don't care about coaching. Who knows? Great players, practice with a purpose. They have training plans. They're trying to develop those skills. Some have natural talent that they're just building on, and put some spelling in there on my slide there, but they're looking for a coach to help them grow. They might not have one, but they may try to find one, try to get one that helps them. They might not have the right coach for them right now, but maybe they can change that. And elite players, they've been coached, they've been mentored, they have training plans, they've been through it. They understand what they need to be better, and they're probably still getting coaching to get from that 90th percent to that 95% difference. Develop a higher understanding and instincts. Okay, they've been training, they've been practicing for these moments, and they understand exactly what they need to do. Determination, work ethic, drive to succeed. They just have that in them that they're not going to stop until they get their goal. And experience helps. It's not a 100% determining factor, but it helps a lot. It helps a lot. So you want to get better. Seek a coach. Find a coach that suits your needs. Maybe it's not the first coach that you find, but maybe it's coaches down the road. Develop yearly training competition plans to help try and improve. Okay, plan out ahead. What are you going to play? How are you going to get better? Don't settle for good enough. Okay, hey, I won a few things. I think that's good enough. Don't settle. Keep pushing. You can always get better. 1% can be the difference between winning and losing. Metrics. While I don't push people to check off every single goal that they have, I do push people to keep an idea of, keep a scoreboard of what they're doing. Do you know how good you drive? Do you know how good you draw? Do you know if your forehand is better than your backhand? If one shot may look good on the green, but if you know that you don't throw that shot very well, does that drop the percentage of it actually being made? Do you know that? Metrics can help. It can help you in training. It can help you develop. It can help you understand your game at a higher level. Develop your communication. Like I said before, communication for coach, for players, for everybody is huge. It's something to develop. And don't slack on your fitness. Okay, if you're out there and you want to be an elite, you could be out there playing for a week, 3 games a day. Who knows? It takes a toll on your body. You need to be fit to do that. So find what drives you and push yourself higher. Don't stop. Keep going. All right.